Scoundrels web series and podcast is filmed and recorded in their ship, the Centurion Vulture, and may contain language not suitable for all. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, welcome to Scoundrels, y'all. We are back broadcasting in the Centurion Vulture. I am CG.
I am Paul Bannister.
Curtis Wayne Miller, standing by.
We are three grown-ass men gathered here once more. Had a little break in between series. And as you can imagine, we are here because the premiere of Season 3 of The Mandalorian. The time has come. Feels good. We all watched. We haven't discussed until this moment. CG, you want to start us off? How you feeling?
I had my first note was I had to turn off the serious mindset.
Yeah.
Coming out of Andor.
Same.
Because that was such an intense, serious show. But, it's just, but now we're just back to fun Star Wars, the classic, transition swipe scenes, the music. So it's like, it took me, so I was like, okay, I got to get back in that mindset of it being a fun, classic, kind of a Star Wars show, which, I mean, it didn't disappoint, and it looks fantastic.
Oh, it's so badass.
I don't know, it looks even better than it did before. Just even Grogu looks more animated, and the lighting and everything, And I thought they were bringing in some interesting things. I don't know if you guys noticed the space whales. Those are the creatures.
That was the one thing I was worried about.
What? I don't know what that is. What am I? I had
the space whale.
What is a space whale?
So from Rebels, at the end of Rebels, the space whale show, and it's kind of
fucking space whales.
And so Bo-Katan.
What does that mean? So they were in hyperspace, right? So how could they have been?
Yeah. Maybe they're giving hints that they're going to tie in some connection to Rebels, so they might be bringing in some from the animated series. But the space whales were my least favorite thing of Rebels, but they were definitely the space whales from the animated series.
Are they plot relevant? Like, do I need to know about these things?
I mean, they show up a couple times in Rebels, the animated series, and then they show up right at the last season, the ending, and it was a dumb, like, he summons the space whales.
Is it like Gandalf pulling the eagles at the end of Lord of the Rings?
It was exactly. It's exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's. I mean, I hated the space whale storyline.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I'm
I checked
hoping
out.
It's but I looked at pictures of what they look like from the show, and then what they are in this. I was like, yep, those are the space whales.
Do fucking space whales
they
swim?
Fly around in space? Do they? Do they clearly travel at light speed?
Yeah, it's my question. Do these dickweeds travel at light speed?
I don't know. I always hated the concept. Like, Ezra, who's the Jedi in Rebels, summons them at the end, and that's how he saves the day. He summons the space whales, and they save the day, and then he goes and flies off with the space whales. It's like, it's kind of that was the one thing I saw. I was like, I'm not happy with this.
I love Mando, but I always have a little Filoni concern on this one, because I feel like he's the guy that brings all the stuff from the animated series into the world.
He does. He's always trying to shoehorn.
He wrote this one.
Did he?
But, yeah, it said written by Favreau. But I don't know. That was the only thing that I was like, please don't. Please. But what did y'all think?
Man.
Curtis, what did you take?
Well, it's fucking fun.
Yeah.
It's stakes aren't super high on this type of thing for me, because it's like just a bunch of characters I don't really know anything about, which I think is awesome. Yeah, it's well done. It's shot well. The sound design's great. It's just straight up fun, dude. It feels like old school Star Wars, and the writing's good. It's definitely a different fucking pivot from the heaviness and almost Shakespearean like vibe as Andor, but damn, dude, we are having some goddamn fun. Space pirates and shit. Fuck space whales.
I do feel like Mandalorian is of all the current incarnations of Star Wars storytelling, I feel like for better or worse, or based on your personal fan preference, Mandalorian represents the core vibe of what Star Wars is like, right? It's fun, can be serious. Sometimes there's action sequences that are just really fun with, like Curtis said, cool characters, cool set pieces, cool action sequences, ships, the whole thing. Like, you get a little bit of it. Again, it can get serious, but mostly it's like Saturday morning cereal, Flash Gordon, which again was the initial inspiration. I thought it was good.
I love Grogu.
I'm asking the open question, which you guys both touched on. I'm keenly aware of coming from Andor to this. When you come from Andor to this, and you're someone who's my disposition, who thinks Andor is literally the best post-original trilogy Star Wars storytelling we've had, that it's hard to go back to this and not have... I had a few moments, if I'm blunt, where I was like, is this a little hokey or a little like easy and quick and too like in cheeseball? And then I remember like, wait a minute, it's Star Wars. Like, remember Mos Eisley and Return of the Jedi and Ewok, like, you know, it's, and I don't have a problem with any of that shit. So why would I get picky about Mandalorian? And I really honestly wonder if I would have felt those things if I had just watched season 2 of Mandalorian, nothing in between, and gone straight into this. If I'd be sitting here having this conversation like, fuck yes, new Mando, this is the best, instead of like, cool, Mando, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah. I feel that, because I felt the same way. I was so excited for this, and I started watching some older Mando episodes. And like Curtis says, the stakes are lower. Like, it's not... There's something about Andor that had just, I think, captured us. So, like you, it took me a second to get back into that. Okay, this is a little hokey, and and there were some hokey moments. But I love they had like well-timed comedy when he was with the one of the Anzelians, the little creatures that are actually in the sequels.
Babu or whatever.
How he was, Babu Frick. I forget Carl Weathers' character.
That was good. That was some good comedic timing there.
Oh yeah, where he's repeating what they were saying. He's like, I get it. Yeah, I hear them. I can. And the set within that was cool. How he was like hunched over in there. So yeah,
that stuff was great. That felt like fun, cheesy, but Star Wars cheesy. I had a few moments where. Well, let me ask you your point about the stakes. I can't tell if, again, I'm just coming off of Andor where, like, the whole thing is good versus evil, the fate of the galaxy's in their hands. I'm feeling a little bit like, in previous seasons of The Mandalorian, the stakes were keep Grogu alive, return him to the Jedi. Like, and those weren't life or death galaxy stakes, but they were stakes. And this idea that the thing we're supposed to be so invested in now is... he gets redeemed because he took his helmet off seems a little like, is really this whole story because a dude took his helmet off now? Because that is a little hard for me to feel invested in. Because I get it, it's a lore and it's fine, but at some point this like draconian rule about taking your helmet off, if I'm honest, I think is fucking dumb anyway.
I think
so.
It's
if
just
the whole premise of this season is based off of that mission, I wonder if I'll start to run out of like.
I think it's fake.
Saying, you think it's fake?
I think that they're going to start like this, and that he is going to go on that journey, and something heavy is going to happen. But
that's exactly what Genevieve said.
With that being said, they probably should have ended it at season 2. It's a perfect ending. Yeah. But you know, they need to keep making shit, and I hope that they pivot and something crazy happens, and it'll take him off this dumbass helmet like bathing journey.
Yeah,
I hope
that shouldn't be life or death for you. I mean, it's like. You kind of chose, like, do you really... There's other Mandalorians out there that take their helmets off. You got this small, group of core Mandos that believe in this creed. So, yeah, it is... If that is the main story point for this, or at least the first couple episodes, it is kind of a weak storyline. Bo-Katan is interesting. I like how she seems... like just she's up to something. I have a feeling she might become a main villain or something. Like, I don't know. Yeah. But her face, I don't know if the actress got plastic surgery, but her face looked a little.
Did it? I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Shit, dude. Like, yeah, something looks. But it does. Botox? Now that you mention that, Paul, it does kind of reek of Bo-Katan got Botox. It does reek of a season 3. Like, oh shit, how can we keep this going?
Yeah,
a little bit.
What I'm afraid.
I had so much fun watching it though.
Same.
The space asteroid scene,
Yeah, and even like the fucking giant thing in the first scene where all the Mandalorians are fighting the thing and he shows up and it's like, look, that did feel like a fun Star Wars fight. Like, I'm down for that. Obviously,
and the little
I'm
space
trying
fight.
to not. Yeah, I don't want to let Andor pull me into some psychology where now Star Wars has to be Blade Runner every time.
Yeah.
You know, like that's not why
yeah.
we love Star Wars, is because it's serious espionage. You know, like, again, we've said this 100 times. The new world of Star Wars is choose your own adventure. There's a flavor for this and there's a flavor for that. And I do think that Mandalorian at the moment is still the center. It pulls from all the different flavors of Star Wars now and puts them in a pile that makes the core Star Wars experience.
It's done well.
Yeah. I think you're right, Curtis. I think the stakes will I want to have faith that Favreau knows from a storytelling standpoint that we need more than this guy needs to be allowed to wear his helmet again. Like, that's just not enough to sustain an entire season of a show, and that this will turn into a bigger... I don't need Mandalorian to be about the fate of the galaxy.
Right.
I almost prefer that it's not. I think it's
like with
fun.
in Marvel, like every fucking movie somehow
Right.
is the fate of the galaxy. It's like, Jesus, y'all fucking hell. But
Totally.
you're right.
Easy.
Mandalorian's a great vehicle to jump around to different parts of the galaxy and see new characters and new environments. As long as there's some sort of seasonal, like, story that has some level of importance amongst the characters we do see. Again, Grogu's survival was great. Everyone loves this cute little fucking guy. Everyone's like way emotionally invested into whether or not this kid is going to be okay or not. No one wants the cute Yoda guy to get hurt. So we're all like, fuck, save him.
Yeah.
And that was like the emotional pull. And I love that they're just like pals now who cruise around together, but something's got to be happening. And
I think we're going to get a switcheroo.
Yeah, I think so. I hope because you're right, because that Grogu storyline for the first 2 seasons is a great storyline. That is a great push.
It's the story of the Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
That's like
It's
what
a great story arc, and then he ends up in
until
old
that
Luke
point.
Skywalker's hands. Fucking brilliant.
I mean, I'm with you,
it's-
Curtis. I'm stoked for more Mandalorian, but I do think that if they had just stopped, that it wouldn't have.
It would have been fine.
It would have been a perfect ending.
It would have been a perfect ending.
Yeah, like, you know.
It would. I thght about that. Yeah.
Like, the Return of the
Thinking
Jedi
if-
is a perfect ending for the fucking Star Wars saga, but, you know, here we are.
Here we are, exactly.
I know. We were watching it last night, and V mentioned, what was it? Oh, it was the little guys, I think. She was like, haven't we seen these guys before?
Yeah, Babu
And I had to remind her where it was. But I do think it's telling that Genevieve, who has watched at least once all of the Star Wars things, didn't immediately remember what those guys were from, which I think is not a good sign about the longevity of the Rise of Skywalker, that it's like, oh yeah, that movie. You know what I mean?
I feel like I know they always say, well, you know, we got some big surprises coming in this, you know, season, like the whole Luke surprise at the end of season 2. I mean, they could bring in someone like Lando, but
They
Space
could.
Whales.
Tell me you guys didn't, the second we met up with Carl Weathers again, we're like, oh, and I know this is not because he's a black man.
I know.
But it was just like, he shows up now and he's got this nice town and he's walking around. It's like, it seemed very much like Cloud City arrival in Empire, which is fine, but it seemed a little like, okay, we've seen this before. And that interaction with those characters that thought, you know, they wanted the saloon and it was a school now, that whole moment. For some reason, the makeup on those characters and the costumes didn't do it for me.
Oh, really?
I felt like
thought
I
it
was
was
watching.
great.
Do you remember that show Dinosaurs in the 90s? Not the mama. It made me, they looked like the like the Jim Henson dinosaur puppets.
Yeah, it was all practical and animatronic.
But everything else a lot of the other things Mandalorian are, and I'm stoked on it. Like, I don't think there's ever been one moment with Mandalorian where I was like, I don't know if that's it. And this one I was like, these dudes, I don't know.
I saw that.
I don't know what's going on.
I saw that.
I thought they looked okay, but maybe it's because cameras are so clear now and just so like that you can kind of see every detail. But I did like that it wasn't a CGI character. And I don't know if like the little Babu Frick, the Anzelians, was that stop motion? Because it seemed like their movement was a little.
Yeah, it could have been.
That.
I was curious if it was CGI. I was curious if the Babu Frick guys were CGI made to look like stop motion, which sometimes they'll do, just to kind of make it more tactile. And Paul, I actually did notice exactly what you're talking about there, and I had the opposite reaction. which I was like, I noticed it was slightly wonky, but I felt to me it was more of an homage to like the dude's makeup inside like Jabba's castle, which was like obviously not fucking perfect.
It could also have been what. Sorry, go ahead.
No, like I'm always happy to see a wonky practical effect over CG, but the wonkiness to me is nostalgia. But I get exactly what you're saying. It's not. You
might be right.
No. It's just everybody's fucking. What do you call it? Experience is valid, Paul.
Well, I don't know. If
that's what the kids tell me. That's what every girl I date tells me.
I think I'm just very aware of how much I liked Andor, and I'm trying to not let that be the new frame of reference for me. Like I need to go watch Return of the Jedi again, and then revisit this episode of Mandalorian and see if a lot of that melts away. And to your point about that scene, Curtis, I also wonder if it was just the fact that it appeared to be at like noon on a sunny day on the streets, and if they had taken that exact same costumes and put them in Jabba's palace,
like at dusk,
lower lighting and mood, that I would not have had a second thought about it.
That's probably why they shot those guys in such low light back then. Well, who knows? But But yeah, dude, you have been jaded by how much you love Andor.
No,
and that's not a bad thing.
It's a first world problem, but it is potentially a problem we'll see as more episodes play out. But I mean, I will say, to me, season 2 of Mandalorian was notably better than the first season of The Mandalorian.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So,
they took it up a notch. The first season is kind of like good, but not like as good as number 2.
That Bryce Dallas Howard episode in season 1, I thought was not good. I did not like that episode.
I could go forever and not see that.
Right.
Yeah, there's a few episodes, that in season 1 that were kind of just not there. And then it found like they found their footing in season 2.
Right. And I just hope that they stay in that footing. And Curtis, you made this point earlier, and I got whiffs of it too, that, they had a story cooked up through season 2, and now they've got to come up with something new to keep the show going. And it's like in the history of good series, this is the turning point, right? They either have come up with something good that they're going to play out over 2 or 3 more seasons, and we're going to be all the better for it, or they're winging it. And winging it is a bad scene for series like this, because I don't know that results in really impactful storytelling.
Dude, in general, in my opinion, winging it's horrible. You can always tell when they're like, you know what, we're making a lot of money on this, we need another season of Breaking Bad. It's like, come on, man.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, because I kind of got that feeling. It was like, it kind of feels like they're trying to find something important for them to do, because like you said, the first 2 seasons, the plot was obvious, the stakes were there, and the goal was there. We all knew what was. He's got to find a Jedi. He's got to get Grogu back to his kind. And now I got the sense in this, and maybe
there's going to be a Jedi
because I have this Andor.
You saw it in the trailer, right? You saw those lightsabers get ignited in the trailer.
I did not.
Yes, but I think that was a flashback to the Purge. Wasn't that? Didn't we? When
the Purge. Yeah.
So that wasn't like a present day moment. It was the moment when they came after the kids or whatever. And all the people back in the, I think it's going to be I have a hunch it'll be like an Ahsoka flashback if she shows up in this season. Because keep in mind, that's the next show. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's multiple setups in this season of Mandalorian to hand off to the Ahsoka series, right? Because that's next.
Because it comes right off after.
They're done filming, right? I think it's like being edited right now.
Shit's all intertwined.
By the time this
for
ends,
better or worse.
By the time Mando ends, we'll probably be jumping pretty close
into
Ahsoka.
And if they do that, it could be great. And again, maybe she's an important part of how the stakes will get higher and whatever they've come up with for the story. Like, my point is, I enjoyed it. I have I need to see that the story will get more impactful. But again, we watched 35 minutes of Mandalorian, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, what is this?
Otherwise, I do love that it's 35 minutes.
Yeah, it was fun. It was lively. Shit looked good.
It looked fucking.
If I wanted to get real picky,
tactile.
I was like, this idea that he needed to go back and get the exact same IG droid, and the only way it could be done was to take down the statue and bring it back. A lot of that just started to feel like. It really did feel like they're just like desperate for something for him to do. Like, if you need a droid, why they never explained why it's this droid.
Dude.
Well, I guess because it's the only droid he trusted.
If I fucking sit and think about all this stuff, you guys are right. I have a good switch in my head where I can turn it on to fun mode. But yeah, fuck that. Why yeah, like...
I'm with you, and like, I mean, it's an honest question. I don't know what.
But wouldn't that IG droid be completely fucking destroyed?
Yeah, he was supposed to be completely blown up, and I think it's like, hey, everyone liked this droid in season 1. Why don't we bring him back?
That's what I'm saying. It seems like the greatest.
It did feel a little winging. It's like I had fun. It was a fun episode.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic, but there was definitely a sense for me that, like, I'm hoping our main storyline is more interesting than him getting redemption for taking his helmet off.
He just wants to be back with the cool Mandalorians. He's like, got to be in the cool Mandalorian club again because he took his hat off. Like, come on.
Yeah, Bo-Katan was kind of a strange moment with her. Like, they all left. They'll follow you anyway. So maybe she's probably going to come back as a villain or something. I don't know.
Do you guys remember? Can you remind me? I can't remember how the Darksaber storyline ended. So he still has the Darksaber, right?
He's got it.
And there's something about, like, and Bo-Katan wants it, but can't.
You have to win it through battle. You have to beat the person. You have to win it through battle. You can't
So he defeated Moff Gideon, which is why he in the Darksaber only answers to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think him and Bo-Katan are going to end up butting heads at some point. Which, I think. Because she wants it, and, like, fucking Mando doesn't give a damn.
Yeah.
Right.
She did say goodbye, Mando. Like, that was kind of an ominous moment when she, instead of saying see you later, or it was like a goodbye, man, or like, so she's being kind of strange.
Isn't it also strange that the idea is the only way you can get reinstated is to go to these mines and bathe in the water of the place on the planet, but the planet's been destroyed. So let's put it this way. If the planet has not been destroyed and the waters are still there, so it was just this colossal goof for generations and the Mandalorians all thought their planet was destroyed, but it's not actually been destroyed this whole time. Wouldn't that be a little convenient that they just got it wrong on the destruction of their entire home planet that is the basis for their collective communal cultural grief?
Yeah, like, I haven't thought that through at all.
They can't keep stretching these things like with the IG-11. We watched him get blown up with thermal detonators. There's like the fact that they still had half its body was a stretch. This thing was supposed to be absolutely destroyed. How he was just able to rub. But I'm being nitpicky, and it's hard to come from.
Yeah. I can look past that shit
every episode.
Yeah, am I being too nitpicky? Like, was I this nitpicky when we were talking about season 2 of Mandalorian? I genuinely don't know or remember is what I'm getting at. Like, I'm looking at myself I'm cynical in general, but was I this cynical when watching previous incarnations of this show?
It's hard to say,
because the storyline was good, the plot was good. It was fun. I mean, it looked great. It had a lot of fun moments. I mean, I'm still pumped about it, but I'm gonna need something that's a little more driving and something to kind of, sink my teeth into story-wise.
Yeah,
I feel you. I'm pretty stoked. This to me is my favorite form of Star Wars. The shit that it's more fun than, and you can kind of look past like all the plot holes and stuff. Like why in the hell is Luke Skywalker like tied up by Ewoks if he can take on Darth Vader? Like, you know what I mean?
Well said.
No,
Curtis.
but
that's
like
the
reason we didn't think about that is because we were kids. So I have to. But you're right, dude. You guys are right. But fuck those space whales. And
I'm scared. I'm scared about the space whales.
And bathing in the fucking waters is weak. They gotta hope something badass happens. I do like those pirates though. Those pirates are fun.
Pirates are cool. I thought that I have faith. I'm not. I have faith.
I'm not worried because I don't think the people who are doing it aren't smart enough. It's it's like we're fucking Star Wars nerds, and so you're always a little worried that they're gonna fuck up your baby.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, the fear is everyone's spread too thin to really nail everything.
Yeah. But it does seem like the dream team they put together of directors to work on this is largely the same, which is hit and miss for me. Like, I know Taika Waititi's in there. Favreau kills it. Filoni, yes and no. For me, Bryce Dallas Howard, nah, dog. Deborah Chow after Kenobi, big nah, dog. So I don't know how many. So is it going to be the kind of thing where in season 2, though, I don't know. What I just said might be bullshit because Bryce did an episode in season 2 that I thought was solid.
Yeah, she just might have got a weak ass script, dude. Like that's not even fun. Like going to that little planet with all those people. It's like,
that's true.
Like, dude, that's not even exciting.
I don't remember bitching about any major episodes in the second season of The Mandalorian.
No. That shit was like...
No, they're all good.
This shit was great.
Remember, because that's when Boba Fett showed up. Remember the fucking Robert... Oh, is Rodriguez still?
Oh, yeah, Robert Rodriguez. Dude, that's when Boba Fett was fucking literally, like, crushing skulls with his bantha stick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or whatever the fuck that thing is.
And now he's over here like the UN trying to negotiate peace deals. Like, no, go fuck somebody up.
If they do another Boba Fett, he better get mad and start.
Well, he wants that. He's like, I would like to go back to being a badass.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited for the next episode. I'm hoping it gets some traction. But I mean, looks and it's fun. It's just fun. I just got to get my fun.
I had fun, and that's kind of all I'm looking for this. But I do need it to kind of. I don't know what the word is. I need a little bit more grounding. I need a little bit more excited than taking the helmet off and bathing. Like, you know, I would think that Mando wouldn't have given a fuck about these people after all that.
At this point,
like,
at this point, I thought he'd be like, "I'm the man. I'm the king now. I got the Darksaber. I got my main Grogu over here. We're kicking ass."
I just learned a big life lesson. Like, if you got to take the fucking helmet off, you got to take the goddamn helmet off.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean,
gets gross.
Yeah, correct.
It's weird. I was worried about that kid. Is like, is he going to be able to cut his hair?
Yeah. I was like, you're going to want to move that hair out of your face before you pop that sucker off.
I couldn't help but notice in the first scene when the little kid is getting the ceremony or whatever, which we thought in the beginning was a flashback to him.
Yeah,
it wasn't until he cruised in and shot the thing. I did too. That wasn't him. Maybe that was on purpose. But did you notice how when they put the helmet on, it kind of does that same suction sound like when Vader or Stone... And that was fun because I always think to myself, like, how are these things staying on? Is there a breathing apparatus? Like, I assume it's got all kinds of, like, it's almost like Iron Man inside that thing, right?
Yeah, a bunch of kick-ass, tech.
Nav systems and whatnot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shit was fun. I had a great time. I need to give a shit more about what they're doing, but otherwise, it looks and sounds fun. Swashbuckling Star Wars vibes are back.
I'm into it. I'm into
all that.
Yeah, swashbuckling fun is back, but you're gonna need to kind of maybe, I don't know. You know what the word? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but
something to sink my teeth into here.
Stakes. Yeah, I just need the stakes to be a little higher. Not
and I'm not
galaxy to saving stakes, but something.
And nobody's on fucking board with space whales. Period.
No.
Yeah. Ugh. Fuck all y'all space whales. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I'm not happy about that.
Space whale could kick my ass, but you know, fun is back on the menu.
Yeah,
fun is back.
What
all right,
everybody who watches, what did y'all think? Go in the comments, throw your thoughts, tell us what you think, tell us if you think we're full of shit. Per usual, if you want to send us a video saying something, asking something, we can edit that in too, get you in the mix. But yeah, what did you guys think? We clearly liked it with some small concerns. Are we crazy? What'd you guys think? Let us know, subscribe, like, help us beat the fucking Darth algorithm. We know how this goes.
We're back.
I mean, that's all I got.
Feels good to be back.
And we're dialing some shit in. Man,
Let's
get the fuck out of here. Fuck space whales.